Hey everyone, it's John, and today we're going to continue back on the CCNP Switched video series. So just a quick note, in the previous video with regard to the packet tracer file, I pretty much asked you, the audience, to leave me feedback because I was unsure if you wanted to see more of that type of stuff, whereby I just create a big topology and hand it out to you to download. Now, I just want to say thanks very much because you did respond. You gave me quite a lot of likes and subscribers and some comments, and see, to be honest, it's not just an ego thing like, oh, you get likes and that feels good and stuff. It genuinely is very helpful because it tells me that what you, the audience, want to see more of. So it's actually really constructive. So I'll say, if for future videos, if you like a video, by liking it, it gives me feedback to know that maybe I should do more of this, maybe I should do more of that, so on and so forth. So it actually is really helpful. So I want to thank you very much for that. So, with that out the way, I'll just say that I will be making more of those packet tracer files in response to what you said. So that'll be a continuous thing on the channel now. Now, back to the point of this video, which is VLAN design and, well, just VLAN implementations, I really should say. And the topic of this one is on Spanned VLANs, which are otherwise known as end-to-end VLANs or campus-wide VLANs. So what actually is this? Well, first, if you look at the topology here, we've got our basic 3-tier hierarchical model, and up the top here we've got our core layer. We've got a distribution here, and down the bottom we've got our access switches where the end users connect into the network. Now you'll notice I've got two VLANs. We've got VLAN 55, which is going to be the sales department, and VLAN 20, which is going to be the marketing department. Now ordinarily you'd expect to see more VLANs in this, but in the interest of keeping it simple and easy to follow, we've only got two VLANs, so just follow that just now. So if we look at here and just assess the topology, we'll see that, let's look at VLAN 20, the market, and we can see that we've got a device here connected into this switch, okay? And we can see that across the topology, this device here also is in the same VLAN connected to a different switch. Now that alone, the fact that the same VLAN, this one here, goes across different switches, that alone is VLAN spanning. It's spanning across the network, you see that? And in fact, as it stands, the VLAN here actually is a true end-to-end VLAN because it spans across the entire network, east-west. So it goes to this switch, and this switch has got VLAN 20, this switch has got VLAN 20. And in a similar vein, the switch also has VLAN 55, which is this one here. So this one's got VLAN 55, which is these devices here. And this switch also has VLAN 55 in here. This switch again, VLAN 55 here, here, and here. And VLAN 55 here and here. So all of the switches have got all of the VLANs effectively. Now, when you're implementing this, you can use things like VTP and stuff like that, but I really want to just talk about what actually is VLAN spanning, why you would do it, and its limitations, because there actually are some severe drawbacks with it. So, now, if we just look at the generic topology, like I said, the issue with VLAN spanning is that it goes across multiple switches. Now, what does that actually mean, okay, for your design? So for your design here, you can see that there's one thing I want to point out, is that because your VLANs have this kind of east-west traffic flow, they don't just terminate at the access switch, they actually go across the network. So if you're, for example, you've got a device, well, let's just say this device here, okay, wants to talk to another device in the same VLAN, this one here, okay, the traffic flow, it's going to go up here and whatnot and go across, but the traffic flow is going across the network. It's not just going like out to the internet or something, you know, it's going across the network. So pretty much that's going to inform your design. You're going to have a layer 2 east-west bound, so what you're going to do is you're going to make this link here layer 2, and you can see that, see the blue links, they're layer 2, and the red ones up here, they're all layer 3, okay? Okay, so the interconnect between our distribution switches is layer 2 because we've got that east-west traffic flow for layer 2. Now, here's the thing, when you do that, this brings in some, well, it brings in some positives. I'll tell you the positive first. For example, what we get with this is we get quite a lot of flexibility because devices are not constrained by physical location, okay? So you can basically attach devices into any switch anywhere in the physical network, whatever flow you're on, and be a part of that VLAN. That gives you a lot of flexibility, okay? We're not constrained by any kind of physical location. We don't need to keep certain VLANs restricted to a certain floor and so on and so forth. So you get that. And you also get mobility. So if you've got maybe, say, a wireless, let's say these were wireless access points, okay? Rather than just switches. So we had or access points attached to these switches, let's say, okay? So if you were a PC here, and you were roaming throughout the network, you could actually keep your same IP address. It wouldn't need to keep disconnecting and reattaching because the VLAN spans across, so you get this mobility. Okay, so it's pretty flexible in that respect. Now, like I say, with this design, because of this, if you actually look at it, okay, so let's just focus on from the point of view of switch 5 here, okay. So we've got our layer 2 link up here, okay. And we've got a layer 2 link to the other distribution switch. Now, like I say, because we are using Spanned VLANs, we're going to also see that we've got our link here is layer 2 as well, okay? We're not going to make that layer 3, it's going to be layer 2. So if you notice straight away, what we've done is we have created a physical layer 2 loop, okay? That goes round and round and round, which means what? It means that we're going to have to introduce spanning tree to prevent that physical loop. So spanning tree might be blocking this link here and forward this one here, and this one might be forwarding, okay? So we're going to lose a link here. So this might be, say, a 10 gig link, or maybe a 1 gig link, or maybe only 100 megabit. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just, the point is, you're going to lose bandwidth on that because spanning tree's got to protect the network from the physical loops. And again, that's going to be the same. It's going to be true of all of these switches because we've got, so we've got forwarding here, and let me go here, and this link here will be blocked to prevent the physical loop, because otherwise you'd have a loop, a physical layer 2 loop going around here. That would be bad, of course. So like I say, the net effect is because of the spanning VLAN, we're going to lose a link here, lose a link here, lose a link here, and lose a link here. So that's a lot of wasted bandwidth for a start, okay? Now, the reason why you would maybe do that is, like I say, perhaps you want some mobility, perhaps you need certain traffic which has to be dispersed across the entire network, like certain multicast traffic, certain voice traffic, and like I say, guest traffic. If you've got like guest wireless, you might want to span across the network and keep it nice and simple. This design might be for you, but you have to be aware of the actual the flaws in this design as well. Like I say, it's by implementing this, even though you get the flexibility, you don't get the same kind of scalability and you lose manageability. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth on the design issue because I'm going to address that a bit later on once we do a comparison with another design after this, but just be aware of that. Now, the other thing I want to do is just quickly show you is that how would this really look in a real campus network. So it might look, you might be familiar with the way it looks just now. This is the kind of typical graphic you'll see. You'll see this nice, simple drawing, but it's not really going to look like that. Now, if we get rid of all these, what I'm going to do is just, I'll drag these aside, okay? So, okay, so get this out of the road, move you away. Right, so the way this is actually going to look is we would grab our core, pop this over here. Now we're talking about physical topology here just now, okay? I'm going to grab this, move this down here, perhaps just now. And grab this here. See, already, this is why I'm showing you me actually doing this, because this might look like a crazy topology if you've never seen this before. Okay. And if we grab these. Okay, so roughly looking like this. Now what am I doing here actually? What I'm pretty much showing you is how it's going to actually be physically laid out, because in effect, once I do this, I'm going to just cut the video and tidy this up so you can see it's a little bit better. So just hold on and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, I've cleaned up the topology a little bit, and for your own edification, I've added in a graphic of a building to denote the actual physical building in which we're working. So let's say, hypothetically, we've got this company called IPvZero Solutions, and here we're looking at the London branch. So the London branch has got 4 floors, and at the very bottom floor, if we go to our graphic here, at the very bottom floor we have our distribution switches, okay, located at the bottom of the building. And for each floor we have a access switch serving users on that floor. So switch 3 is going to serve the users on the first floor. Switch 4 here, the access switch, is going to serve users on the second floor. Access switch 5 here is going to serve users on the third floor. Access switch 6 is going to serve users on the fourth floor, and that's the way it works. Now let's just say, just so you can kind of conceptualize what's going on again, is that these switches are located at the end of the corridor next to the stairwell, which is down here, people walking up and down. And the actual cabling, just so you know, clearly we're not going to have cables running from all these rooms along the floor to the end of the corridor, because health and safety would kill us. What's going to happen most likely is we'll have, say for example, this PC here, we'll just have a wee connection into the floor, which is going to plug in, will be the patch panel, and we'll have cabling running through the walls and the ceiling. So we'll have over through the roof and the ceiling, all these cables, and they will terminate and come down at the end of the corridor, and we have all our cables running down through here, you know what I mean? So it's going to kind of look like this, they're physical cabling. Okay, and like I say, these distribution switches will connect, we'll have these fibre links going through the ground to some geographically distant location, which is going to be our core layer here. And if we had maybe say an office in Birmingham with a couple of floors here, our distribution switches here, they would connect into the core here as well, and we'd have the same type of thing. Okay, so that's just so you can get an idea of physically what's going on. Okay, now back to the main kind of topic of spanning VLANs. If we recall from the previous, well rather the last kind of thing I was showing you, is that I think we had VLAN 20, I believe, was it the sales or marketing? One of sales or marketing, let's just say it's VLAN 20 sales, okay? And we had our green VLAN. Now the idea was that we had VLAN spanning multiple switches. So we had a VLAN 20 here, maybe a VLAN 20 here, VLAN 20 here. So we can actually cover multiple floors. So we actually have the VLAN going across all of the floors, it's spanning right across, and like I say, that would have some implications for our layer 2 topology, because like I say, we would have an interconnect here would be layer 2, and let's say from the point of view of switch 3, we're going to have connection here, so we've got this physical layer 2 loop, which means that spanning tree is going to block a link here, and this would be true of all the ones here. We have a spanning tree block here and spanning tree here, because we've got our physical layer 2 loops effectively. Okay, now you can mitigate this a little bit, and I'll discuss that when I get to high availability later on in the series, when I'm talking about first hop redundancy protocols like HSRP and VRRP and so on and so forth. We'll discuss that, but it's not a perfect solution. But like I say, the advantage you get with spanning VLANs is you get a lot of mobility. So say for example, if we had a wireless VLAN which spanned the entire campus network here, is that a user could be in range, and he could be getting up on the stairs and walking around and keep the same IP address. Okay, we need to be reconnecting in because it'd be in the same subnet, because we are logically separated, even though rather physically separated but logically together, should I say, because we're in the same VLAN. And that really is the design of a span VLAN. Now the next video which I'm going to be discussing is local VLANs. Now that's actually keeping VLANs localized to a single switch. So if we had say VLAN 20, it would not go further than this switch here. So let's say VLAN 20 here, this might be VLAN 20, but you will not see it anywhere else across any other switches. Okay, now you might think, what if we had a marketing department and we didn't want to keep them all on the same floor because, like I said, we've got this flexibility here with spanning VLANs. We can have a marketing person on this floor and a marketing person on this floor and this floor. Does local VLANs allow us to do these type of things? Well, the actual design, the way you're going to think about design is going to change about this. So in the next video, we're going to be discussing local VLANs and the way that will be implemented. And because, like I say, the way you actually design VLANs, like with per department, it's not necessarily the way you do it in the real life, even though you see that in a lot of Cisco documentation. So in the next video, we're going to be looking at local VLANs, and then I'm going to be comparing, the one after that we'll compare span and local a bit more in detail, and we'll see how it really works in the real world. Okay, dope. So that's the end of this video with spanned VLANs. Like I say, it's good for mobility, it's quite flexible, you can give you ability to roam through the building without any kind of issues, changing IPs and whatnot. But like I say, it does have some limitations for scalability and for manageability as well, to be honest with you. And like I say, that will be covered in the next video. So I'm going to chop this video here without going on too long. And like I say, please leave feedback, because it does help me out a lot. And that's the end of the video, so thanks very much, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.